as many questions as you like. So whenever question basically comes into your mind, please write it down. And after that, I love all of your questions because more you ask, the more you will learn about the industry, about your profession, about the career, about the planning, about your roadmap. And if you wanted to join SAP career, what basically your scope is all about, how basically Tech Taurus will take a crucial part in your placement. If not, if you can do your own, how basically do your own, you have developed your skill set and expertise and more. And above all, so basically, if you just pay attention, whatever basically I will let you know about SAP. And so after that, basically, you let me know all of your questions one at a time, and then I will answer all of your questions. So let's start. So I'm your instructor. My name is Majid Saeed. I'm in the financial industry, especially in the SAP, ERP, and S4HANA workspace from 20 plus years of experience I have, and I worked pretty much across the globe. You can name it American regions, North America, South America, EMEA regions, Asia Pacific region. Currently, I'm working in one of the leading company of SAP. And this is my hobby and passion. And I'm with Tech Taurus Institute from last 10 plus year. And by education, I have 2 masters, tons of certifications, relevant to SAP commercial sector, public sector, industry specific solutions, industry specific cross-functional knowledge and expertise. And based on this particular thing, so I wanted to give a one-on-one basis. So I wanted to give you based on your level of experience and expertise. So my orientation will go accordingly. Before I join, any question do you have? So before I will start.
No.
Okay, guys, then let's start.
Yes.
So this is our agenda, and my expectation is I will finish up close to 45 to 50 minutes. And this all about is introduction about SAP. The word is SAP, the word not is SAP. A brief overview of SAP architecture, overview of SAP landscape, SAP technical and functional areas, introduction about various modules in SAP, introduction about SAP ERP, which is basically software. Brief about SAP FI CO course, SAP advanced training courses like SAP Treasury and Financial Risk Management. If you have a planning of your 3 to 5 year roadmap, then definitely these courses will help you a lot down the road in your career. SAP Receivables Management, SAP Funds and Grants Management, which is public sector, SAP IS Utility, and different other industry specific solution, and SAP Training Highlights, Recap, and question and answer session. So what is SAP? So SAP basically is a German word, and that's basically stands for, and that German language is already written above. Those who knows the language, so they can pronounce it and then they can basically use it. And meaning of that translation is systems. The word is plural. Everywhere you can see the plural. Systems, applications, and products in data processing. So it's a third generation set of highly integrated software modules. So when it's a highly integrated across the globe, based on your application, based on your department, based on your cross-industry experience. So these modules having a directly integration, and that's basically stands above all SAP due to its highly integration among all other departments and among all other touch points. Is it perform business functions? So without all kind of a business function from your production planning, from your manufacturing, from your sales and distribution, from your human resources, from your production planning, as well as from your environment, health and safety, your whatever the software you have, it has all kind of integration. And plus it will also give you 40 plus languages, multinational leading practices, and take care of all the enterprises accounting perspective. Like if you have international financial accounting standards are there, local GAAP standards are there, or any kind of a accounting specific standard, which basically pertains to relevant specific accounting entries. Basically, it's deal all kind of operation as well as audit too, and spread across the world geographically. You name it, and SAP is there. And what is basically ERP software? Enterprise resource planning is a software-driven business. So that basically is a software-driven business which integrates all facets of business, including planning, manufacturing, sales, and marketing. ERP as a business solution aims to help the management by setting better business practices that I just mentioned a while ago, that all kind of accounting, international accounting, financial standards, international accounting standards, local GAAP based on the country of your business, wherever your subsidy is residing. If the business is in, let's say, in Brazil, so Brazil local GAAP. If the business is in USA, USA generally acceptable accounting principle, GAAP. And if your subsidy or business subsidy is in Canada, it's called Canadian GAAP. So based on this one, and equipping them with the right information to take timely decision and decisive decision. Once the information flow is right, and this information basically is flowing into financial and accounting from all touch points of your business, and then SAP basically, especially the FI and CO, basically will generate your financial statements. And based on the financial statements, sometimes the company managers and executives basically make their decisive decision accordingly. So what are their basically softwares are? So mostly use ERP software packages. SAP is a top leading business application software. And then we have a BON, we have a PeopleSoft, Oracle. Now Oracle actually bought the PeopleSoft, and now it's under the umbrella of Oracle applications. JD Edwards, SAP, ACPAC, MFG Pro, Lawson, Ramco Marshall, Microsoft Dynamics, etc., etc. These are different ERP systems are there. And based on ERP software and systems, SAP is one of the leading business leading software is there. So SAP was founded in 1972 by 5 software engineers. So those were all former IBMer, and their names you can see at in your front of your screen. Werner Ruther is there. Hop, Hector, Plattner, Takira. 1972 they formed. They were former IBM. Initially, basically they proposed this to IBM, and based on the IBM busy engagement, they said, okay, we will not make your proposal. And then basically they had developed by their own on their free times, on their weekends and weekdays, and this way basically SAP has been developed. So facts about SAP. SAP basically still is called best run business run on SAP. SAP basically is integrated solution for client server. So what is basically client server in today's environment? Let's say if you wanted to access your email, so your email server basically is a client, and you, is a server, and you basically is a client to achieving and retrieving all kinds of information. Initially, basically it started with R1 structure, R1, and then R2. R1 basically is just a client, and then they developed R2, then R3. So R3 basically included, as we go along, I will let you know that that's the way basically this client server information and this client server information basically popped up. And distributed open system means different kind of open system is there based on their open system. So whichever geographical locations are there, meaning to say, let's say if your organization working in the globe, and their headquarters basically, let's say in Asia Pacific region or American region, and based on the region, basically they develop different kind of a ERP system, and they develop basically their different ERP system which is stationed at different geographic location. That's called open distributed system. And based on their system, based on their operations, they have other ERP system is also there. That's basically is called open distributed and open end systems are called. SAP is the world's most used standard business software for client service computing and operation. SAP meets the needs of a customer from small company to a multi-billion-dollar company. You name it, from SAP, from a $50 million company to a $100 billion company or $2,000 billion company. SAP basically is there. SAP having a capacity based on their capacity and based on their operation and based on their module approach, based on their application approach. So basically SAP provides them all the facilities accordingly. So leading global provider of close to 190 plus countries SAP basically is already serving, and close to 2/3 of the total world's revenue basically touches SAP system. So number one vendor of the standard business application software within the worldwide market share of 33% is a huge and humongous share is there. Second to third largest independent software supplier, especially in the business sector in the world. Available now is 40 instead of a 40. Now is 40 different languages are there. 8 out of top 10 US corporations basically are using SAP. So here is some of the facts about SAP. Why basically everyone wanted to go into SAP. The reason is that now SAP is a world leader for enterprise application analytics as well as mobile solution, with close to 300,000 plus customers in close to 190 plus countries are there. Market capital around 100 billion, plus 80% of the customers are small medium enterprises. SAP customer, small to medium enterprises customers are there. SAP customer include, these are the statistics, so I'm just reading those statistics as it is. 87% of the Forbes global 2000 companies, 98% of the world most valued brands, 100% of Dow Jones top scoring sustainability companies are there. SAP customers produce 78% of world's total food, 82% of the world's medical devices, 69% of the world's toys and games, 74% of the world's transaction revenue touches an SAP system. SAP touches US 16 trillion of retail purchases around the world, and that's basically is increasing. The way basically SAP Cloud is basically there, as for HANA is there, and all other commerce modules and applications are there. So SAP basically is increasing its revenue day in and day out. So how basically SAP structure? So this is basically architecture of SAP, especially in the ERP software. Basically ERP is a core, enterprise resource planning is the ERP software name, and that this is basically a core application, and that core application basically is consist of, first basically it has database layer, and that database layer basically is consist of your DB2, your MS SQL, your Oracle, HANA. HANA is itself based on the SAP. HANA basically also is called database. HANA, high performance analytical appliance tool. So that's also basically is a database too, which is HANA 2.0. On top of that, we have all kinds of application layers are there, and these layer based on the application, like financial application. Financial application consists of your financial accounting, your management accounting, your treasury accounting, your treasury applications. So these are different types of applications are there in finance. Then we have is called logistics application. In logistic application, you have a sales and distribution, you have a material management, you have a production planning, you have a environment, health and safety, you have a all kind of other manufacturing applications basically are part of logistics applications. Third type of application is called human resources application. Human resources application basically your time management, your training management, your payroll, all kinds of application basically are under that specific layer. That's called application layer. Then on top of that is called presentation layer. Presentation layer basically is a graphical user interface layer. So these are the layers where basically all the application, as soon as basically you put some commands in the command screen, so that basically application layer process those command layer, which basically retrieve all the data from database layer and basically present you in the form of a output. So that output basically could be any kind of a functional module or any kind of a report is there. That's why basically SAP architecture retrieve all kinds of data and reports are there. So three-tiered SAP structure plus ABAP. ABAP basically is advanced business application programming. That's basically a program where all the codes of all modules and all the application has been written. So very first layer, you can see it is called database layer. So this is not your language, this is not your course, but I am just giving you all the retrospect that how and where basically SAP came from, on what basically architect SAP is built on, and what kind of a landscape SAP is there. So as I mentioned earlier in my SAP orientation, and then once basically your foundation is built, then I will let you know what basically SAP FI, what is CO, what are other modules, and what are basically your course basically is there. And before that, I wanted to give you a complete comprehensive picture what basically SAP is consist of. Is the word SAP that not the word sap. Once we cut the tree of the trunk, the fluid comes out from the tree. That's basically is called sap. This is not a sap. That word is called SAP. So very first layer is called database layer. So database layer basically consists of ABAP program and data storage are there. On top of that, we have all kind of application layers and ABAP executions. Is called programs are there. Then on top of that, the presentation layer. Presentation layer basically consists of in the form of a graphical user interface, and that basically driven and run by ABAP programming and an output, and then basically programs done and in the form of a different kind of a screens are there. So that's called three-tiered SAP architecture plus ABAP program functionality basically consists of architect. So how basically three-tiered SAP architect ABAP general basically consists of? So you have a database layers, tables are there, program repositories are there, then programming logics are there based on the input and output operations. So that's way screens basically having some kind of input, then input is basically processed by application layer. That application layer process some of the data from database and basically fetch back into the presentation layer. This way the whole SAP architect basically work. Then what is ABAP? So ABAP basically is advanced business application programming created by SAP initially for report creation, later involved into full language. That was the initial purpose once basically it was started. And then all the basically application now is written in that specific language. And it has also having a close embedded relationship with the OpenSQL, as well as Java is also having a close relationship with Java. And from OpenStack perspective, ABAP basically is also is used for many of the Java languages, and integration, having very strong integration is there. And then we have it's called the integration. So where basically all kinds of integration basically is there, and that basically structure is called SAP NetWeaver structure. If any kind of an application platform, process integration, information integration, people integration, internet integrations, wherever basically this process is there, so the all kind of processes basically has been done on this particular platform that's called SAP NetWeaver. And now it's called process orchestration. So that basically it meant all types of processes based on whatever basically nature of the process is there. So that basically SAP NetWeaver basically deals all kind of integration is there. And here you can see from technology wise, SAP ERP is built on SAP NetWeaver. So here you can see in the middle. So SAP ERP systems are there. At the bottom, PLM, product lifecycle management is there. On the right side, you can see all kind of a CRM application, customer relationship management application. And on top of that, you can see SCM, supply chain management. On left hand side, supplier relationship management is there. So that's basically the core foundation and fundamentals are there. And now SAP basically is moved from 4th generation, that is called S/4HANA, where everything based on this particular core foundation, everything is moved into that specific direction. With the enhancement of in-memory computing as well as embedded analytics, everything basically is moved into that specific area. From landscape perspective, it has three tier landscape. The very first tier is called development client. That development client basically all kinds of application once basically were built based on the business requirement, based on the is called as SLDC life cycles, development life cycle, software development life cycle. So everything is basically built on development, and once basically configuration has been made, configuration is there based on the business requirement, then basically is moved into quality client. In quality client, basically we test all the data, regression team tests the data, functional team tests the data, technical team tests the data. Once all kind of sustainability has been tested over there, then it move into a production again. Before moving into a productions, so we have a copy of our production clients called staging clients. Once all the testing, volume testing, regression testing, stress testing, end-to-end testing is done, then it will move into a production. Once it move into a production, then basically the SAP, the business folks basically use these systems. So these are called the SAP landscape. So SAP landscape basically consists of development system, quality assurance system, production system, and each and every system having a unique functionality. So type of users, developers, consultant, key user, pretty much in two system, and the last system, which is basically is meant for production system, is only meant for end user or business clients are there. So type of work, customizing, development, and unit testing basically is happen in your development system. And then for all kinds of testing, that's basically the quality assurance. So type of work, we can do integration testing, quality testing, string testing, and then volume testing. All kind of testing basically is happen is there. So once everything basically has been tested, all sustainability has been checked, then all of the implementation and all of the basically new customization has been moved into a production environment. So that's all kind of a three system environments. It's called SAP landscape. Then here is basically operating system. So how basically SAP system works. Then we have a basis. Basic is just like your network operating team is there. So that basically will manage all of your three system, dev, QA, and prod. And that basically on top of that, we have another team is called process orchestration, where basically NetWeaver is there. So those NetWeaver basically will deal all kind of a communication inward and outward. So they manage all kind of as I mentioned earlier. So they basically manage all kind of integration. And then we have a technical team is there. Technical team basically consists of a mapper, developer, basically they write codes. Whenever we need a customization or interface development is required and the standard program needs to be modified and needs to be altered, then based with the help of a functional team, basically those basically writes the code. Those are called developers or technical persons. On top of that, you can see these are called functional consultant. Material management, controlling application or management accounting, sales and distribution, financial accounting, HR, those are called functional consultant. So where basically your area of expertise is required, FI and CO is there. So that basically you are learning, and here the why I have given you everything as from retrospective perspective, so you have at least having a good foundation before going into that specific course. And then based on your more insight of the knowledge, then basically you are planning your career accordingly. Once you will be in my class, then I will let you know how basically you can plan your career accordingly. Then basis, what is a basis? Basis, I told you, is called middleware. Basis is like an operating system for SAP. It sits between a BAP code and computer operating system. I have given you a very simplistic manner, all kinds of details. So you can digest it, you can plan it accordingly. So it will comes into your mind before going into very complex details. That's the reason, based on your experience and expertise, even if you have a SAP knowledge or accounting background or finance background, if you have, it's well and good. If you don't have, it doesn't matter, because I am just giving you all kind of information, all kind of your training from scratch. ABAP 4 programs do not access operating system function directly. Instead, they use basis functions to perform file input and output operations. Then SAP, now basically SAP is being slowly and steadily started. Now your foundation has been built. And once your foundation has been built, then basically SAP ERP application and functionality exists distinctly in two areas. The very first area is called functional area. The second area is called technical. You are not a technical person. You only need to know the functionality. When I say that you only need to know functionality, it meant to say, let's say you are you having a 10 years of experience working on let's say Windows operating system, and suddenly you move on to Macintosh, Mac. So you need to know some of the functionality, how the Mac basically works. Once basically you know how to Mac work, then basically you love the Mac and forget about your window operations. So this way, whenever you go into those specific operation, those specific financial application as well as management accounting application, you only need to know the functionality of those specific financial accounting. In financial accounting, we have other specific modules are there. In order to get to know the functionality, that's where your functional basically role is there. You didn't need to write any kind of a code. You only need to know how this business requirement, what is a business requirement, how this business requirement is transformed into a functional knowledge, and step-by-step direction and functional knowledge has been given to you, and you have to just configure and update the system according. That's basically is called your functional consultant. You didn't need to write any kind of a code at all. Then we have a technical people. Technical people consist of administrator, which basically who manage the basis, and programmer basically who manage your ABAP advanced business application programming. Administrator, so we have a basis having a different application, have different learning altogether. Programmer also have altogether different programming knowledge, skill set, and expertise are there. And they basically learn all the functionality differently. That's why these are different counterpart and different folks are there. So how SAP basically looks like, here you can see this is SAP Logon. Once basically the Tech Taurus education team basically provide you your username and password. Basically, they will let you know before that, first of all, you have to log in, download the application. Once the application has been downloaded, then this first SAP logon information will pop up on your screen. Once basically you log on your username and password, this is the very first screen in your SAP you will see. And here from learning perspective, I have given you very small detail. This is called menu bar, this is called toolbar, this is called title bar, this is called function bar, because different kind of a functionality is there. And this is called SAP standard menu. In SAP standard menu, we have office modules are there, logistics modules are there, accounting modules are there, human resources modules are there, information system modules as well as reports are there. Then different types of tools are there in order to run the operation. But your area of expertise, we are into this is accounting, that basically we get to know. So here basically SAP standard menu tree is there, and based on that specific menu tree, here you can see to open and close status bar line is there, click on arrow, status bar is there, session names are there, client information is there, so all kind of information basically is available. Then how basically SAP works, once basically you know that this is an ERP system, and based on the ERP system, once basically you wanted to get to know, then the very first and foremost thing basically you get to know is called ASAP methodology. So what is ASAP methodology? Let's say once basically you learn the SAP and your instructor taught you well, and based on all the application module, once you are on a project, on a specific project, once you are on a specific project, so those specific projects are basically worked on a specific life cycle. So these life cycles called ASAP, accelerated SAP methodology is there, and based on that specific methodology, the very first phase is called project preparation, the second phase is called business blueprint, the third phase is called realization, the fourth phase is called final preparation, the fifth phase is called go live and support, and then continuous improvement or sustainability approach basically is there. Based on these life cycle, basically every life cycle you are working accordingly, and based on this one, the project preparation, business blueprint, realization, and everything basically come accordingly. Then how basically SAP is consist of from functionality perspective, as I told you earlier, because I have deliberately given you some kind of a repetition, so information will go into your head. The very first application is called finance application, then we have HR application, then we have a logistic applications are there. In human resources, we will go turn by turn, though this is these are your neighboring or touch points where information will flow into your financial area. So very first application basically is called human resource application. So HR module includes support on salary and payroll administration, as well as areas such as work schedule modules. These core application is very country specific due to country related taxes, employee benefits, and employment laws. And HR modules, personnel management, payroll management, time management, travel management, training, and event management. Again, this is not your area of expertise. This is basically touch points where all the data is coming and flowing into your financial application. That's the reason I have included deliberately. So you should know what basically ERP software itself is. It belongs to. It's not only consists of FI and CO. Then we have a logistic applications are there. So in logistics is the largest of three functional area, which includes lots of applications are there. So this application consists of other modules like sales and distributions, production planning, material management, warehouse management, quality management, environment, health and safety, etc. So these are the all applications are under logistics applications are there. Then we have a ERP. ERP basically is a ABAP language. All the this ERP basically written in ABAP 4 language. So SAP R3 architecture is there. ABAP for development workbench is consists of. Data dictionaries consists of. Internal table, transaction, data transfer, BDC reports, SAP scripts. Overview of integration technologies like application link enabled technology, intermediate documents, electronic data interchange, remote function call, business application programming interfaces, all kind of information basically is consist of. And these are different within different segments or modules are there within ABAP applications. Then we have a finance. So this functional area contains your financial statement. Financial statement is consist of your balance sheet report, your P&L statements, your cash flows. So all basically is driven from your financial applications. So under financial application sets mostly use FI basically is called financial accounting, CO basically is called management accounting, FSCM is called financial supply chain management. Is not supply chain management, it's called financial supply chain management. Financial supply chain management is consist of your credit management, your dispute management, your collection management, your in-house cash is called core treasury, your treasury and risk management, your recovery, debt recovery, as well as your bank communication management. All basically consist of under your financial supply chain management. Then we have a public sector management. Public sector management mostly deals with the grants management, funds management, as well as your project systems are there. Then we have a corporate governance are there. So these are different types of application used in financials application majorly, but more major basically you are dealing only with your finance accounting, financial accounting, as well as management accounting, aka FICO, and rest basically is other oceans. So that's the reason it's not a summer or spring or fall course. It's basically your career, and you have to plan your career accordingly. So once your skill set is there, you will not after the job will after you. So you have to develop your skill set and expertise. And those who are, I know that in this orientations, some folks, they started their accounting practices in 2005 and 2002 and earlier and later. So they already witnessed that those of their colleagues or those of who are their acquaintances are on SAP, they are not only very well settled, but they are just like an evergreen tree. So whenever there is some, even in recession, double recession, triple recession, they are always on job. The reason is that that skill set is a very hot commodity, and now you are learning that specific commodity. So FICO course outline. So FICO course outline consists of financial accounting. Financial accounting consists of general ledger accounting. General ledger basically is the backbone where basically all of your data is coming from your account receivable, accounts payable, bank accounting, asset accounting. Everything is flowing into your general accounting. From general accounting, all of your financial statements has been driven, and then it will go to your statutory authorities accordingly. Then we have account receivables. Account receivable basically is all of your customer, basically operation, their incoming, their revenue, everything basically is managed and being maintained in account receivable. Same way accounts payable, all of your vendors, suppliers, whatsoever they are, basically they are managed basically in accounts payable. Either is a local company or all of your vendors basically are international vendors, has been managed and maintained accordingly. Same way, all of their bank statement of your vendor, customer, or financial bank statements are there, whether it's international, local. So everything basically is maintained in your bank accounting. Then we have an asset accounting. Asset accounting is deal with the fixed asset accounting. So that fixed asset accounting, irrespective your subsidies are international or subsidies are local. So based on the operation of your organization, the asset accounting has been configured, has been managed based on your it's called business needs, and it provides you especially having a good role in their balance sheet accounting. And the major part of that asset accounting is called asset under construction, or assets is called work in process in other words. So wherever basically the assets are there, wherever you having under constructions are there, there's a specific asset class is there. So all kind of an asset basically is being structured analyzed, and the reporting basically generated from that specific asset accounting. Then we have a controlling module. Controlling module based application basically is consist of your cost center accounting, your profit center accounting, your profitability analysis, your internal order, or your project accounting and product costing, how basically per unit cost of your product has been manufactured. So this way basically all kind of a product costing is also basically being managed in your controlling area. So now we are going into detail some of the highlights that what is basically basic setting of an enterprise structure, how you create your companies, company code, how you basically do your assignment of your company code, then business area based on your department, based on your functional structure, then how basically do your operational of financial reporting, fiscal year variant, as how you assign your fiscal year variant, chart of accounts, accounts group, retained earning accounts, posting period, document types, number ranges, field status variant, tolerance group, leading ledger, non-leading ledger. So all kinds of a detail basically we manage in that specific area. Then we have a general ledger, how basically we do the GL master record, posting of a document, display balances of a general ledger, parking, hold, accrual, sample document, deferral documents, foreign exchange, reversal of document, document splitting, leading and non-leading ledger. I have given you a very simplistic SAP orientation, so it comes into your head, and after that, I will open up forum for your all kind of a question and answer. Then accounts payable, vendor groups, material management vendor, FICO vendors, number range for vendor accounts, tolerance group for vendors, house bank, correspondence, automatic payment program, then extended withholding tax, terms of payment, down payment made, cash discount, everything basically is there. Account receivable customer group, ST and FICO customers are there, number range for customer accounts are there, customer master records are there, down payment received are there, dunning, cash discount, bill of exchange, all basically details we discuss in your account receivable module. Asset accounting. So asset accounting start with chart of depreciation. These are terminology. If you don't know about these terminology, it's perfectly fine. So once basically you will be in that specific subject, you automatically get to know, and I will let you know how these specific terminology is all about: screen layout, asset classes, integration with FI, depreciation method, depreciation keys, asset master, sub-asset master, asset report, depreciation run, asset sales of asset class, transfer of asset, scrapping of asset, capital work in process, etc. Controlling, cost center accounting, profit center accounting, profitability accounting, operating concern, profitability segment. Once you wanted to break down your company's revenue logically, so then basically profitability segments are also there based on your region, based on your product hierarchy, based on your regional hierarchy. So everything basically, all the profitability segments have been broken down. That basically we discuss in detail once we will be in that specific module. Assignment of controlling area to operating concern, then activate profitability analysis, mapping of conditions to co-op values, drill down report, penset, etc. Etc. Then product costing. Product costing basically creation of your secondary cost element, activity type, then price calculation, work center, overhead keys and routing, costing sheet, cost estimate with quantity structure, cost estimate without quantity structure, marking and releasing, work in process, progress, integration, procurement cycle, integration with the material management, integration with your sales and distribution, integration with your asset accounting, integration with your controlling, and integration with your profitability analysis. These are all kind of integration basically. Once we will in the subjects, we will discuss about the product costing. Then we have a course overview, different types of reports we have. We have a financial statement reports, GL, general ledger reports, accounts payable reports, account receivable report, asset reports, cash book report, LSMW, legacy system migration workbench, how basically we transfer legacy data into your ERP system, SAP ERP system, and transport management, how basically we move your configured data from your development server to your quality server, from quality server to your production server. So this is called transport management. Recap, the course material will be provided in the form of a PowerPoint presentation, PDF, Word document, simulation files, and interview question papers. And then at the end of the class, whosoever basically is prepared in next 3 to 5 or 6 weeks, the mock interview being arranged. And once basically you will ready, then you will let your Tech Taurus resource know, and they will arrange the mock interview by me. So we have a 1 exit interview and 3 mock interviews altogether. We have at least 4 interviews, and if you, let's say, fail 2 times in each interview, then you have at least 8 interviews with me on a one-on-one basis. So that's basically is a good chance when you wanted to having a good conversation from a professional level conversation, where basically you rehearse, and I will let you know how to speak, when to speak, what to communicate, what not to communicate. Everything basically you get to know in those mock interviews. Then we also provide you the real-time business blueprint. We have changed the names of the company, the structure of the company, but the information is real. So you will get some of the real-time business blueprints, SAP methodology, accelerated SAP methodology, resume, interview workshops, and we'll also provide you this. And we also let you know that the scenarios where basically you are working in a global scenario, and based on that specific global scenario, so I will walk you through how basically your design, if your organization is working in 100+ countries, and based on that specific design template, how basically you develop your global design template. And then these are some of the advanced courses. Just information basically is there. Treasury, this is a core treasury area. Treasury and risk management, cash and liquidity management, in-house cash, bank communication management, receivables management. So we have a credit management, dispute management, collection management, and biller direct are there. And then some of the application from your public sector. So funds management, budget control system, then funds derivation strategy, funds integration with FI CO, material management, sales and distribution, grants management, and HR. Then grants management, grantee management, budgeting, billing, project system, engineering and projects, project strategy and risk mitigation, project and system security. And then IS utility, the SAP device management, contract account receivables and payable, ISU invoicing, billing, biller direct, utilities, customer, e-commerce. So why we have given you these kind of details? So once basically you are in SAP, though you are whatever basically, and whenever you wanted to join SAP, it's the right time for you. Now you have to basically look from your career perspective, just like a strategic perspective. Let's say I'm just giving an example. What is a strategic? Let's say you are learning a diploma for 3 months, so that strategy is different. Once you are learning a, let's say, a certification course, that strategy is different. Once you are working in a university and you got admission, so then strategy is different. And if you got admission in engineering school, then the strategy is different. If you got a medical school, then the strategy is different. So in the same scenario, same analogy, this SAP is a course for you where basically you can build your career accordingly based on your line of, based on your ethics, how basically you will work right now, whatever the time you have, whatever the capacity you have, whatever the resources you have in terms of your budget and time. And then you have to basically execute your budget of your time and money accordingly and build your career accordingly. And I'm just letting you know again and again, the SAP career lies in your instructor hand. If your instructor is good, I'm not advocating myself, but over the time I have seen, if your instructor is right at the right time and you are being a trainee of that specific instructor, so your career will be in the safe hand. But if your instructor is not right, he or she doesn't have that kind of a specific experience and expertise, then the delivery basically will be impacted and your career also will be impacted. So these are the lines. So based on those specific lines, you have to make your decision accordingly and let your the Tech Taurus know accordingly. So training highlights, what basically training highlights are there? SAP Live Server Access will be given to you. And also I will also let you know about the 3rd generation of SAP, which is basically ERP system, and the 4th generation of SAP, which is not your course, but I will let you know about SAP S4HANA, embedded S4HANA. What is embedded S4HANA is there. The core foundation basically is the same of your SAP FI CO. That will also let you know. SAP experienced trainers, I am already experienced trainer and corporate trainer, certified trainer. Experience and SAP study material will be provided to you. Currently, I'm also working on different projects. So that's why experience always matters. So training with live example. So based on your my true examples from my previous projects, wherever basically and whenever you ask me questions, so I will always let you know based on the situation and based on the live example. SAP training material in the form of a presentation, PDF documents, practical after every major topic mean. So whenever we complete the business requirement, the configuration manual, then after that you have to complete your configuration manual and you have to hands-on your application, so your skill set will be developed. So that's a major thing. The practicals are necessary and mandatory. So SAP test and SAP FAQ, basically frequently asked question as well as a real-time interview question will be provided to you. Feedback from SAP coordinator throughout the course on the job support. If you will be part of Tech Taurus SAP practice team, then they will provide you all kind of help at the job. Resume preparation, mock interview with the consultant, SAP certification help. If somebody is interested in that kind of a SAP certification will be provided to you. And if you are part of SAP team of Tech Taurus and IT BMS, they will also provide you on-job assistance too. Help via email, cell phone, online, remote support will be provided to you. So now I am actually basically opening up the forum. So now you can ask me as many questions as you like. The forum is yours.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
Hi, Majid. I am Asif Khan. I have one question that if I want to take the training, should I come to your office or you will also give me the training in online? Like, yeah.
If you are a local, I preferably if you can come to class, it will be great. And if you are online, then be disciplined. Once the class will start, then I will let you know how you become more disciplined once you are remote. But if you are living in 100-mile radius, so you can come into the class is always beneficial once you come into the class.
Okay, what will they like? You will give the class on weekdays or like on weekends? And what time
Weekend,
will be the?
weekends, Saturday and Sunday.
What will be the time? Like,
Our official time normally is 9:30 to 4:30, but still, if the time is changed, you can contact your resource coordinator. They will let you know the exact timing of the class.
and how long the course will be? If I do the training of weekends, how long it will take to end the
Total
course?
8 classes, 8 weekend courses are 8 weekend
Total
classes.
8 classes.
Yes.
And you will also give me the server access.
Yes.
Server access. How long like server access will be,
Contact your
sir?
resource coordinator. I think is 3 months or 6 months. They will let you know.
Okay, I got you.
I have one question. It's Manish. I was trying to do the SAP HANA. So, and when I did the orientation, but I think they didn't have, Techstars didn't get a lot of candidates. I guess that's why they didn't go for it. And then I got this FICO. So, from what I see is, it's more about, because I have an MBA in data analytics also, and I'm more interested in those analytics side.
So what's your name?
It's Manish.
Manish. Okay. Manish, doesn't matter because I also taught S4 HANA is there because this I can guide you once basically you are in my class. I will guide you and coach you accordingly. It's not a big deal. I'm already working on S4 HANA from last 5 years.
Okay. I just wanted to, kind of understand that. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Once your core will be there, then learning S4 HANA is not big. I will include S4 HANA, some of the orientations for you guys, those who are interested in S4 HANA. The core foundation is the same.
Okay. Makes sense.
Majid, can I ask a question quick?
Sure. Asif, let me know about yourself, which state and city you are in, and what's basically your educational background, and if you are working, where you are working.
Yeah, Majid, actually, basically, I'm from Pakistan. And I came here 2 years ago. My status is I have a green card of USA. I'm living in Brooklyn, New York. And the thing is that I have done masters in commerce. My specialization is in finance. So I wanna ask question: should I go to which one course, like SAP FICO, HANA, or like someone else? Would
No,
you
our
please?
basic course, foundation course is SAP FICO on ERP platform. That's basically our intended course.
Okay.
But I will flavor you guys because some of you guys are interested in S4HANA because I have a very extensive experience of all ERP system, which include S4HANA too. So based on your interest and based on your level of participation, I will guide you and I will coach you and might I will provide you some of the material from S4HANA perspective. That's not a big deal.
Okay, Majid, is it possible that before like starting the class, you give a time and we do a meeting? So like
Whatever
what?
you can you wanted to ask, you can ask me in front of the class if somebody needs one-on-one time. After the
Okay.
class, during the break, everyone having a time and everyone having a facility, they can talk me one-on-one basis is not a big deal.
Okay. Okay.
Hi,
Uh,
Gayatri here.
Yes, Gayatri.
Yeah, I have a question. Like, I have a break. I mean, it's a kind of like 10 years break, and I'm just coming back. And I mean, as a SAP master, I mean, what do you think the scope, like, after doing the course for me, like, and you know the market very well, and so.
Market is good. I'm just letting you know, Gayatri, in the past, the lots of women who had been in my classes, some women having a break of 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. They wanted into a class. Some absolutely have no background and they wanted to join in the class. I asked only one thing to all women. If you are disciplined enough and if you follow my instruction tip guideline,
okay,
eventually you will be in SAP field.
Okay.
And women had done it in the past. Slowly and steadily, lots of women right now are in SAP field, practically. So your persistency, your consistency always pays.
It matters. Okay. To have an understanding of this functional consultant, you mean to say like functional consultant will be kind of a